Alright, let's dive into Gemini 2.5 Flash, the latest breakthrough in AI from Google that's seriously shaking things up. One of its biggest claims to fame? Speed. We're talking real-time responses in queue settings, where even a fraction of a second delay can feel like forever. This model delivers outputs with almost no lag, making it perfect for, those live support chats or instant translation tasks. And here's the kicker. Developers can actually turn off its deep thinking mode to make it even faster without sacrificing too much accuracy for simpler queries. But speed alone isn't the only star of the show here. Gemini 2.5 Flash rocks this massive context window of 100 MUN tokens. Now, if that number feels abstract, think of it this way. It can recall information from up to about 1,500 pages of text in a single session. Yeah, 1,500 pages. Imagine having a model that doesn't just remember your last question. I mean, it remembers the whole conversation, everything, from start to finish. That's a big win for anyone working on, say, long-form research or customer service scripts where continuity is key. And let's not forget its code generation. Developers are raving about how it handles seriously complex coding tasks with ease. It's almost at the level of GPT-4 but at a fraction of the cost. It's not just spitting out code, it actually understands the underlying logic. I even read that some developers have switched over entirely from other models just because this one is that reliable for technical workflows. That's kind of a big deal when your deadlines are on the line. Oh, and here's where things really get interesting. Google's new thinking budget. It's this brilliant mechanism that lets developers decide how deep the AI should, think. You can dial it down for quick answers, such as translations, or max it out for heavier tasks like advanced reasoning and problem solving. The idea here is simple but game-changing. It gives users full control over how much time and cost each request should require. Basically, you want to save resources? Set a low budget. Need something intricate? Raise the cap and let the model take its time to nail it. People are finding all kinds of creative ways to use this flexibility. One example that stood out to me was a content team who used the thinking budget to balance speed and depth when churning out, high quality, timely blog posts. And developers, they're leveraging it for better cost predictions in programming tasks. You set the limit and boom, no surprises at the end of the day. It just feels like such a modern approach, giving users direct control over how much processing power and, of course, how much cash they're putting in. Honestly, it's this kind of innovation that, really redefines what we should expect from AI tools. Now, moving on to another huge leap with Gemini 2.5 Flash. Its ability to handle not just text, but also images and videos. Yeah, it's not just crunching words anymore. It's bridging into this whole multimodal AI space. Imagine the implications here. Industries dealing in creative content, marketing, even gaming, can now lean on AI to analyze visuals, generate descriptions, and even create game scenarios based on images. It's like giving AI a whole new sense. And then there's its document summarization feature. Look, we've all been there, staring at these ultra-long reports, whether it's legal, financial, technical. Nobody wants to manually sift through hundreds of pages. Gemini's got your back with its 1 million token context window. That's like handling an entire book, more than 1,400 pages, and distilling it into something clear, concise, and useful. It's a lifesaver for industries where time literally equals money. Actually, that reminds me, there's this brilliant case study I came across. A legal firm integrated Gemini 2.5 into their workflow to summarize lengthy legal texts. We're talking, documents so dense that they could pass for a weightlifting hobby. The system not only cut down summarization time from hours to minutes, but it also caught details that were easy to overlook in manual reviews. Game changer, right? And they even saved money, like real dollars, while improving efficiency. It's just another example of how AI is simplifying what used to be overwhelming. What really stands out to me is how this opens up opportunities for so many fields, whether you're in education creating learning materials, or even in journalism summarizing never-ending research. It's, kind of like having a super efficient team member, one you don't need to caffeinate every 2 hours. Alright, we've talked about speed, multimodal capabilities, and even document summarization, but what about pure performance? I mean, let's dig into the numbers for a second. Gemini 2.5 Flash can process 214.9 tokens per second, blink, and you'd miss it, right? That's faster than most competitive models out there, and it's easy to see why this level of speed makes it a go-to for mission-critical scenarios. Think of chatbots in customer service or live support desks. These are spaces where even a half-second delay can shift the user experience from okay to, well, stellar. But here's the thing, it's not just quick, it's also pretty darn sharp. In tasks like complex problem solving or answering hard prompts, the accuracy is surprising, almost rivaling bigger, pricier models. And get this, it ranked just below its flagship cousin, Gemini 2.5 Pro, while beating Claude 3.7 in tough reasoning tests. That's no small feat, especially when you consider its lean price tag. I've seen developers share examples of Gemini handling intricate code queries like, I don't know, reverse engineering legacy scripts or debugging spaghetti code with clarity and, honestly, minimal fuss. And they're not just impressed, they're switching from other platforms entirely. That's a testament to how it performs under pressure. Now, let me bring up something even more interesting, the thinking budget. This is where things get fun. Developers have this unique tool at their fingertips to control how deep the model thinks. Need a quick, simple answer? Turn it down. Got a tricky problem requiring more reasoning? Crank up the budget and watch the model dig in. It's a feature that's turning heads because it balances speed, precision, and cost in ways we haven't seen before. I'll give you an example. A financial analyst I read about was using Gemini to generate investment forecasts. By adjusting the thinking budget, they were able to save time and money on routine calculations, while reserving the heavy lifting for key insights where margin for error was like basically zero. Imagine that kind of precision in creative fields like media planning or even educational tech. You could tailor every AI response down to the last token. This feature could mark the start of a whole new direction for AI, where it's not just about raw computing power, but also about delivering smarter, more customized solutions. By giving users this granular level of control, Google is asking a new, crucial question. How can AI be even more resourceful while still staying affordable? And that's really the takeaway here. From its blazing good speed to cost-effective precision, and yeah, the flexibility of a thinking budget, it's clear that Gemini 2.5 Flash isn't just following trends, it's creating them. It's showing us that AI doesn't have to break the bank to deliver groundbreaking results, and honestly, it's challenging everyone else to keep up. On that note, thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive into Gemini 2.5 Flash. I'm Zachary Wu, and I'll catch you next time for more on the world of tech innovation. Stay curious and stay inspired.